Good evening. This is Weekdays with Wendy. Today's calendar reading is Doing Nothing for Others is the Undoing of Ourselves by Horace Mann. In 1778, there was a small town in Massachusetts that was incorporated, and the name they chose for themselves was Franklin, after the founding father Benjamin Franklin. Now, for that honor, they asked Benjamin Franklin to buy a bell for the town's church steeple. I'm not sure if it's really an honor if you have to pay for it, but nevertheless, they asked Benjamin Franklin to provide the bell for the church steeple. Well, he said that he believed in sense more than sound, and so instead of a church bell, he sent 116 books and donated them to the new town of Franklin. Now, just a side note, I can't imagine that pastor being disappointed about the bell and yet having to celebrate the new, donation of books, because they were probably, great. Now, I don't know if it was truly that Benjamin Franklin wanted to give books for the edification of the people, or if it was just a cheaper alternative than an actual bell for the church. Either way, that gift of books started something in motion. Now, when they received this collection of books, the town argued vehemently as to who should have access to this incredible gift. And it was finally in November of 1790 that the town council voted that every resident of Franklin should have access to those books. 6 years later, a baby was born, Horace Mann. Now, throughout his childhood years, he would never spend more than 6 weeks in any given year in school, but he used the Franklin Public Library. It was out of that original gift of Benjamin Franklin's books that the very first public library in our country was established, and it helped people like Horace Mann. He grew up and he would eventually become an attorney. He became a college president, and he dedicated his life to public education for all. He was committed to these rules that education should be free, it should be non-sectarian, the school buildings themselves should be comfortable enough so that students from any background would feel comfortable, and that professionally trained and educated teachers should be the ones in charge at the school. He transformed our country because he was committed to making life better for others. And maybe it started with that original gift of 116 books to the town of Franklin that changed his life. But it enabled him to say that doing nothing for others is the undoing of ourselves. This evening, before you go to bed, take a few moments and remember and give thanks for those who did for you. Who were the ones that gave, that sacrificed, that made a difference for you? And then take a moment and ask God to reveal the ways that you can do for others. I hope you have a great night.